This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 892, How to Pay for College If You Started Saving Too Late, by Philip Taylor of ptmoney.com. And I'm Dan, I'm your host, and this is where I read to you from some of the best blogs on personal finance. And before we get to today's post, a big thanks to Halpern Financial for their support. Imagine you had someone you could trust to help you figure out how to juggle your various financial goals and decisions while making sure you're meeting your needs now and in the future. Halpern Financial is a fiduciary, fee-only, independent advisor that offers a combination of online tools and personal connection to help clients systematically achieve their goals. Find out how close you are to achieving your financial goals at halpernfinancial.com/OFD. That's HALPERN financial.com/OFD. Now let's get right to today's post from PT Money as we start optimizing your life. How to Pay for College If You Started Saving Too Late, by Philip Taylor of ptmoney.com. I was talking with a friend the other day, and she mentioned that I have a lot of good information on PT Money aimed at new parents who would like to help their kids save for college. She said, however, that she was interested in my opinion on what I would do if I were sending my girls to college next month and was just getting started with planning to help them fund college. Great question. Here's what I'd say to any parent of a teenager who's just about to head to college. Get perspective. First, don't beat yourself up too much over not starting sooner. College should really be an expense your kid, now adult, takes on. It's nice if parents of young kids can take the extra step to save a bit for their child, but it's by no means a necessity. At 18, your kids are adults, and their investment in college is a down payment on their earnings for the rest of their lives. Hopefully, you've been taking care of you, and you won't in turn become a burden on your kids someday because you didn't prepare for your own retirement. If you haven't already, you need to have a meeting with your kid about where you stand to help them financially. Be brutally honest and help them to understand that college is primarily going to be their responsibility, both academically and financially. I read a horrible story about a mom who took her daughter's life and her own partly because she didn't want to be honest with her daughter about her lack of college option because of poor family finances. Don't lie to your kids about their future. 529 College Savings Plan? Next, I'd say there still might be time to take advantage of a 529 college savings plan to provide tax-advantaged dollars toward their education. If you have some cash to help them pay for college, consider stuffing it in their 529 college savings plan and use those funds to pay their tuition. Even if it's just a few $1,000s, it could mean a decent state tax break, and over 4 years, it could mean tax-free earnings towards their education. Although with just a small window to earn, you don't want your funds to be at risk, so your tax advantage will likely be small. Liz Weston actually makes an excellent point against doing this in her new book, There Are No Dumb Questions About Money. She says, quote, "You wouldn't be getting any real growth, so the tax benefit of a 529 plan is minuscule. What you would get are restrictions on how to use the money and possible complications for your tax returns. If you want to use education tax credits, for example, you won't be able to apply those on expenses you've paid with a 529 withdrawal." End quote. This is a great point, and you should likely think long and hard before using a 529 plan at this point. Instead, put the money into a safe, risk-free savings vehicle that hopefully would help to keep up with inflation over the next few years. Although, sadly, with education costs rising by as much as 6% a year, you're going to have a hard time keeping up. Help your kid look for assistance. Next, I'd say make sure your kid has applied for federal assistance and scholarships. Even if it's too late to apply for assistance this year, you can always use the funds next year, so learn all you can about the FAFSA. Remember, college is at least a 4-year proposition, and more for some. Just because you're 2 months away from enrollment, it doesn't mean you can't plan for the rest of their school. The free application for federal student aid will help determine if your kid qualifies for subsidized student loans, grants, or work-study programs. Your tax dollars are paying for this aid, so you might as well take advantage of it. Federal student loans get a bad rap from people who don't want to pay them back, but I think they were one of the best money decisions I could have made. I left school with $25,000 in student loans and took a job paying me $36,000 annually. It's hard to find that kind of return anywhere. Don't forget about scholarships, too. Apply for as many as you can. Encourage wise spending. Next, I'd encourage your kid to make a wise spending decision. How much they need for college can vary greatly based on the school they choose. Talk to them about what college means from a financial standpoint, how it's an investment in future earnings, meaning they should pick a degree that pays off, like nursing, education, accounting, etc., and pick a school that has a good balance of credibility and cost. Your kid should also be encouraged to look into accredited 2-year schools to handle some of the initial college courses before heading off to a university. Tell your kid to make it happen. Next, I'd advise your kid to take the advice I would give anyone wanting to afford something. Make some extra money to pay for it. Your kid should be encouraged to look into working their way through college or using the service in the military to help them afford their education. Other tactics? Sell some things, start a small business, work odd jobs, etc. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to pay for it. You could even implement some kind of matching program where you match your kids' earnings. What not to do. Finally, I think it's worth noting what I would not do at this point. I would not raid my retirement savings to help my kid afford college. I would also not pay for their college costs on a credit card or personal loan. If you can pay a little as you go, like with a payment plan from the university, that's great, but don't go into debt, or worse, risk your retirement for your kid's education. You just listened to the post titled, How to Pay for College If You Started Saving Too Late, by Philip Taylor of PTMoney.com. And a big thanks to Halpern Financial for their support. If you're like me, you could probably be more organized with your finances. Maybe you're saving for retirement or for your kids' college funds, like we just talked about. Well, did you know that you should be looking for an independent and fee-only financial advisor? That's because a financial advisor's focus shouldn't be on selling you expensive and commission-laden products. And that's why I'm happy to introduce you to Halpern Financial, an advisory firm that's fiduciary, fee-only, and independent with complete transparency. They have a combination of online tools and personal connection to help clients systematically achieve their goals. Find out how close you are to achieving your financial goals at halpernfinancial.com/OFD. That's HALPERN financial.com/OFD. And that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for being here and for listening each and every day. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow where we'll have a post from Mr. Money Mustache. That's where your optimal life awaits.